Oh no, we're getting there. Okay, so I have time to talk about this.
Don't look down. Whoa, that's why.
When did we get to the top of a skyscraper? Thought Scooby-Doo, but not really, because he's stupid. So we gotta get to that night helmet where there's a clue.
Well, we don't have to, but it is our next power-up.
Well, we better get it. So
Wait, so are you telling me that there's some optional inventions you can find?
Yeah, it's optional in the sense of, like, just as a slight spoiler alert, the Night Helmet is basically like a update of the Bunny Hood and, of the sneaking around ones.
Oh, well, I'm curious.
What sort of advantage would you have of that over the lampshade?
Yeah, what perk does that give you?
Basically, you know how, like, the lampshade, it, like, conceals you from enemies only if you're standing still? With the night outfit, you don't have to stand still in order for it to technically conceal you.
Oh, because they see you as just another monster.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that is handy. That I can. Okay, then I will say in that regard, then James, I can see the sneak mechanic helping if you're at low health and you just gave up. You just don't give any more fucks at Scooby-Doo.
I just don't want to, I just can't let this stand. You're right. Sits down.
So, wow. So, we were mentioning that. So, Dead by Daylight, it's like asymmetrical horror is a huge thing, but the issue is with why there's the gargoyle. The issue of why I'm not a huge fan of Dead by Daylight is because the matches can drag, I'll just say right now, and a lot of it is just hiding and trying to run away from somebody, and it's all about avoiding everybody. But I found a new game that I've been watching a couple of content creators play. I don't think we can reach him. I don't think we're gonna be able to reach. Oh, nice.
Right,
fire.
Oh, okay. Props to you. You did it. I didn't think we'd be able to reach him. Cool. Then we can get to the helmet up to our right. Yay! But so I found a new game, Jordy, called VHS.
What about VHS?
Where, so I guess it's a game that's being developed. They'll never see me.
Hello, fellow monster.
Hello, Ted.
What is the haps?
I'm trying to fix the visor. Just anyway. Have a
good day.
So it's another asymmetrical horror in the same sense of Dead by Daylight. In the sense of the way they handle asymmetrical horror is 4 people are survivors, are the teens, and 1 person plays the monster. And the way they try and play with the stealth mechanic is the 4 survivors are in third-person perspective mode, so they can see fully around them, whereas the person as the monster can only see in a first-person perspective, so their vision is much more limited, which is how people can hide and hide around corners and stuff. But so the reason why VHS is different is that as opposed to just trying to be escape, go to all of the quick time event generators and then get out of there. VHS plays more like a team deathmatch thing, where now the survivors actually. Where'd he go?
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you go.
I see the dog.
Oh boy.
Okay, we did it. Nice. Alright,
dog.
Nice, we did it. We're home free. Don't get the Scooby snack. Hi, but there's too much.
Fine.
Of this. Just get us inside this house. I'm so scared, Mister. So now they do actually want to fight back, and there's a whole I like that from a perspective it keeps the gameplay engaging and not as much of a drag as VHS is, or not VHS, as Dead by Daylight is. Anyway, we were just talking about horror games that just remind me of that.
That's fine.
Besides our times with Resident Evil and me playing Silent Hill to educate myself, and the time that will be eventually spent on Dead Space, I'm not typically the person who goes for horror games.
Yeah, me neither.
Me neither.
If it's a fun horror game, though, like Scooby-Doo, or in some instances Luigi, then I'm okay.
Probably the worst time for me to bring this up, but the more I've come to realize in recent memory that looking back on the Luigi's Mansion trilogy, which I can't believe I can actually say that in a whole sentence.
Yeah.
That there's a Luigi's Mansion trilogy.
Uh-huh.
I've always been wondering, what is it about the original Luigi's Mansion that I love so much compared to, the sequels? And, I mean, granted, nostalgia definitely plays a huge part of it, and I do think the mechanics are a little more sound in those by comparison.
If you say so.
But a part of me also realizes that the more I stop and think about it, the original Luigi's Mansion, plays itself off, it doesn't even play itself off that much like a comedy. Like, it wants to try to treat itself a little more seriously, despite the more, kid-friendly elements, for lack of a better word.
Uh-huh.
You guys know what I'm getting at this, right?
Well, I mean, like,
it's kind of like
definitely dark.
it's kind of like comparing like Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island with the rest of the Scooby-Doo.
Oh no,
movies.
I agree with that. Well, I absolutely agree with that. It's even down to like the music and sound design, where like, absolutely, I would
like, it's
say
not,
that
it's
around
not trying to be. It's not intentionally trying to be like hokey or corny or like the typical Mario fare.
I'm not saying it makes them lesser villains, but the fact that Dark Moon and only perpetuated through Luigi's Mansion 3, which again, not bad games. Dark Moon's
absolutely not. Never take what I say as a knock against those games, because they're good. They're great in their own way,
but
especially the third game.
But I agree with you that
the point I'm trying to make here is that like with 2 and 3, Dark Moon and 3 feel much more like an actual they feel more like an actual horror comedy, like Scooby-Doo.
I no, and I agree with you. So hear me out in that I can honestly pinpoint the reason is that the mooks themselves, the main ghosts, also thank you for putting up with all of us all talking your off hype.
Oh, you're fine.
Is the mooks themselves?
Oh, there's a tar monster.
Oh, there's the tar monster.
Die.
And down he goes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, just like that.
Again, there's gotta be some reasons why they're so fickle. But anyway, it's that all the monsters, all the ghosts in Dark Moon and onwards kind of had Minions syndrome, where they were more played for laughs and goofy, like, whoa, you dork, and they're bopping each other in the head while they're trying to fight you. Whereas in Luigi's Mansion, like, sure, you have your normal, like, mook ghosts, but there's never been any, like, there was never any prevalence on, look how silly this ghost is being right now. It's, you are
right,
like...
They legitimately were trying their damnedest to kill you.
Right, and here... And,
or just outright spook you to death.
And up until... And I think there's also the element of mystery in that, like, so... In Dark Moon, EGAD is already telling you pretty much straight up all that's going on and what's happening. Whereas in Luigi's Mansion 1, apart from me, EGAD, who is, to you, a completely brand new character, you've never met this person before, what the heck is going on, you have no idea what's even happening until you release all the booze. And then, and there's no big, there's no draw. Sorry, and this is not against Helen Gravely or anything, but there's no big villain monologue of you fool, this is what is going to happen. In every chapter, I shall remind you what's happening. You're really just it really is just you exploring a mansion. And
I mean, in a like I think I brought it up before, even in those games, like the original Luigi's Mansion 1 treated itself more like a straight kind of like straight horror and kind of like Resident Evil, especially Resident Evil, considering the mansion in itself very much was inspired by the Arclight Mansion.
Fair.
But otherwise, yeah, no, that's just what I mean by it all. It's like not to say that the sequels are bad for it. I'll say that time and again. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those reasons why I do kind of think there's something about the tone of the original Luigi's Mansion that got lost in translation, and I wouldn't mind seeing that, explored again in the future game, assuming they do make more sequels.
I do straight up think that it's possible. That it's possible for like even something like Samus, like Metroid, to have just a straight up just true horror game.
Oh, absolutely! Like if Fusion, and especially now with Dread, like made it immediately clear.
Whoa.
Anyway, this looks kind of like a pain in the ass if you want to get that monster token.
Yeah, how do you do that?
Oh, that is actually a lot easier. You have to wait until you get a power-up that makes it so that you don't have to worry about sliding down floors.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, right.
The
you
talent
do technically get another mention like that. Exactly.
And
the Scooby Scamper.
The Scooby Scamper, and he does the same thing. He goes every step of the way. Anyway, enough of my shooting.
Sorry, I can imagine that. No, I can imagine that now. Like his way of doing it is just going up Scooby Dooby 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 Dooby,
and he just charges as he's running straight up. I mean, yeah,
that just reminds me of.
Yes.
You say that, I'm just reminded of in Unmasked, where you have the ninja outfit, like the outfit, for all intents and purposes, has like a Kamehameha Dragon Ball like attack, wave. And the way Scooby charges it is like he goes like Scooby Dooby, releases it, do.
You reminded me of that animator. It worked too well with that face. And the do, and he just. I'm looking that up again.
Not gonna worry about that. It's just a sandwich. But we did get all the
just a
keys, so.
sandwich.
Thank goodness.
And now we have another panic in the attic.
We're gonna be here a while, aren't we?
Yeah, how much longer is
No,
this?
not really.
Well, well, I mean, bear in mind, Jordy, we will say, again, going off of that save thing, we're already 30% through the game. So,
Yeah.
it's not a long game
And
once you know what you're
and
doing.
rest assured, we're not doing the whole game tonight. Like
No.
that would be that would be a bit of a trial in attrition.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I'd say like within like a week or 2, we can. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with this. Come on,
Oh yeah,
get
no,
up
we can
there.
easily knock this out in a week if we dedicated to it. Aside from the other plan we had with Al.
So, oh, that's right, yeah, because we will do our best for that. So, Jordy, have you? I guess okay. With all this recent new
Also,
like
can't do the D-pad.
with all this new monster mania that's been like happening
you do.
lately, have you taken time to like look into any other like horror movies? Like, are you like a big aficionado or fan of horror, or is it just the monster designs and stuff that you're a fan of?
Honestly, it's just the monster designs that I'm a fan of. Like,
Yes.
I'm trying to remember how this trend started that got me into liking monsters in the first place, because, truth be told, I don't...
I thought. Sorry, I was about to say, I thought it was Bendy that got you that way.
Maybe, but I feel like it kind of started earlier when Twilight came around.
I mean, that's a good ways back.
Yeah!
I just remember that, like, Bendy, I know, was definitely a catalyst of it for you in particular.
Oh, absolutely. Like, right when that whole thing came around, you actually worked up the nerve to even try or at least force Logan to play it for you.
Listen, he
and
offered
again,
when I was scared because, you know...
And again, I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna be doing puppy playtime though.
Oh
Yay,
gosh,
don't have
no,
any
do
issues with
not
that now.
do not do that game.
But and I will see what happens with Dark Revival. Again, I had my own thoughts of where I thought they were gonna go with Bendy and the Ink Machine, and I think we're actually here.
Yeah, basically, Dark and Stormy Night is where the first quarter of the game ends.
Bang.
Good.
Good.
Also, I guess I should go without asking, but I assume when we defeat these bosses, we'll be coming across. We'll also save one of our friends.
Yes.
In quotes, you'll see what happens.
Okay. Because, I mean, so far we've only met up with Holly once, and then every other time we met up with Shaggy, which, appropriately so, considering he is our literal master.
He is
slash
our
best pal.
Right. We don't want we don't want him to think that we're cheating on him.
Cheating on me.
The
I
fact
can't
that
believe
this-
that's an actual quote in a Scooby-related show, and it turns out to be the best one of the lot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
hang
lot.
on.
There's a lot that is. Again, there's a whole compilation of just how much venom slash just sass that Velma acquired in her later years, as she just realized
Yeah.
how weird and how stupid her life was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny because it's like, on its own, she's really funny in that show. I'm not entirely certain if I'd really buy her as like my definitive Velma though, because of how much of a jerk she is to everyone.
I mean, isn't she essentially just Daria in that whole show?
I think...
Yeah, honestly, yeah, the best way to describe her is she's incredibly jaded by that point, where she's like, oh my gosh, I dedicated the last 11 years of my life that I could have been using to build a career. I dedicated the last 11 years of my life chasing elderly men wearing Halloween costumes.
Yeah, essentially.
And so she's just, so yeah, she's definitely jaded, and like the fact that people are so fascinated. It's also like my other like big like I guess
Ugh.
my other big inference I made
Creeper.
was that in the very intro bit, like she's also that like she's like that child star that everybody keeps asking her the same questions over and over again, and she's just tired of like the celebrity thing.
Yeah.
That and again, the fact that the one man that she loved, like, and Scooby's there. He's always there.
I still love, like, when it got to the point where Shaggy ended up choosing Scooby over Velma. Like, she had, like, justifiably so, like, a big freak out over the fact that, like, the boy I love chose a dog over me. I love Fred's because Fred is just, like, a big-hearted goof in that. Like, once Velma had her freak out, he just goes, well, great, glad that's all settled.
I mean, there's that, and then, like, later on when Scooby-Doo's, like, when Scooby's even wondering, he's like, Velma, what do I do if you're in love? Try to snap out of it before you make a worse mistake than you already have gotten yourself into.
Right, Wilma.
Okay.
Honestly, it's kind of weird looking back on it that, like, even after all said and done, she has that much, like, what's the word? Lack of enthusiasm, especially towards, you know, their... I mean, I can't even outright say just, you know, like, the fact that, like, Scooby is pretty much Shaggy's dog. Like, he's pretty much one with the family.
Well, yeah,
point.
that's what I always figure. Like, he's just, like, sure, he's first tagged along with Shaggy, but I mean, everyone, like, has, like, spoken to or owed something to Scooby for helping them out in some way. Oh my gosh, are we at the other end?
Especially if this game is anything to go by.
We're saving everybody. Oh, look.
Speaking of the devil.
Shaggy being chased by Geronimo.
A spookdoman.
Geronimo!
I'll get you in a second, Reggie.
Sorry, Shaggy. Priorities have to be kept in order.
Don't just stand there, Shag.
Easy.
Like, what do you expect me to do?
I
Beat him up?
I almost thought you would have, like, messed up their cycle enough that now Shaggy was the one chasing him. Okay, no dialogue for this, but hopefully it looks like we're about to finally get to our first boss. Yay!
It does seem a little weird that like not every subtitle is spoken to in this game. Like, especially in Shaggy's case, where he gets actually more lines often than not.
My guess is that there's also another place you can go to. Oh, never mind, you got it. There is my theory about what just happened there was that since that was him mentioning saving, that maybe it was like something that was found in playtesting. People were like, "Oh, we should let people know to save there," but this was after all the recording sessions had already been done, so they just had to kind of quickly
that
slap
makes
it in
sense.
post.
Mm-hmm.
It was just before they had to start shipping out the CDs.
What is that? What's she
Excuse me, the
doing
DVD
there?
ROMs.
She's doing the witch boogie.
She
Now
had a
let her
little
be.
jig.
Oops. Sorry, but I keep forgetting that fires. What would you say? You wouldn't think it, but there are a handful of things that are technically one-hit kill, and that fire is one of them.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Goodness.
And yeah, terribly sorry for the back and forth we're having to do in this game. Like, I mean, this game definitely... I mean, kids can easily play this, but that doesn't mean you should be outright cocky out most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is probably the reason why they give you the whole bunny slipper or lampshade combo in the first place. Also, some of the camera angles could be a little better.
Yeah, 'cause-
a little more zoomed out.
Yeah, because that's, like, one thing that I'm sure a lot of people caught on to the fact that, like, I cannot change camera angles at any point. Everything here is completely fixed.
Fair enough.
Anyway, we'll just let the old crone do her jig, and we'll try to avoid the fire as much as possible. But you gotta break it.
Can we break? Can we break the thing, or are we just?
Oh.
I was about to say
Can you
that.
bash it? Oh, you can't
I
bash
guess
it?
you can't.
No, I couldn't. I tried to.
I mean, is there even a way past that whole thing?
Hang on, I'm trying to remember, because there is a way past there. You have to go past there.
Right. No, that's what I imagine. And like,
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
the
oh,
switch.
switch. Now is it?
And that's what the witch is there
Oh,
for. She
oh,
grabbed
no.
Shaggy.
By the scruff of his neck.
Oh,
wait.
oh, it just dropped her right down one of those fire
Now
chimneys.
turn
no.
it back on.
Turn it back on, you dick.
I want to see him like go flying up, pants on fire, have a little
That's
fun
not
cartoon
how
gag.
it works, Logan. It's not how it works.
And maybe in not Scooby-Doo land, but is this not Scooby-Doo land? No, this is Scooby-Doo land.
Oh, hey, Shag.
Five.
Oh, so that's
how-
what he was put there for.
Yep.
Okay.
Hang on, I didn't land on him right enough.
Oh,
so-
wait a minute. I just realized
There's a
something.
key.
Yep.
I thought for a moment they literally played a literal music clip from the movie or the old show.
Oh, well, yeah. The sound, the melodies are definitely there. Okay, now we can get through this. Oh,
Just don't land square on the bottom.
and ta-da, we're here.
Ugh.
All right, now let's take out that night and call it a session.
Please.
All right, part 3.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
You're
just
fine.
impatient.
Oh, you would not have
I've noticed.
lasted long in our Sonic color. Oh no, you did.
I
I was
did.
gonna say,
And we enjoyed having you there.
Thank you. I enjoyed being there.
to be fair, we're not quite at the 2-hour mark yet. I can still say we learned our lesson after that whole fiasco.
Yep. Oh, hello.
I'll let
hello.
this cutscene play real quick. I'm gonna go get some hot chocolate.
So that's the mastermind.
The infamous Scooby-Doo. Allow me to introduce myself. I am the mastermind.
Is that Tim?
Is it Tim?
Sounds like a good impersonator.
I'm the reason you're here.
You are?
I'm the one who made Professor Graham disappear.
Or maybe it is. I mean, these games have had a means of
Sorry about that.
bringing back some. Back.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
So, what were we asking there, Jordan?
Is this Tim?
That
Yeah, this is Tim Curry.
you will
It is
never
Tim?
solve.
Wow.
And one more thing.
And yeah, the reason I had to step back for a bit is like that hot chocolate I had earlier. It was still sitting there in my bedroom, so I just
Velma!
yeah, cutscene time. So I just wanted to take a quick swig.
See if you can get past this fiendish fright.
That is something I've definitely noticed throughout some of these games, that they bring in some pretty credible actors to play the bad guys, who are just typical side characters. Like, I know in Unmasked they brought in
Adam West,
Adam West, yeah.
Oh yeah, they did.
We'll worry about that later, Scooby.
right? And as we spoiled a few times, here we get to our first boss, the Black Knight. Boogity boogity.
Huh. I expected him to sound a little more menacing than that.
Yeah. Now here is basically the gimmick with his fight. Yeah, I know, the little strut there.
Fucking jig!
He has got the saunter down that
Yeah, so that's the gimmick. You have to wait until he's in front of one of these pillars, and then bash it to electrify him. It's a little picky, though. He has to be, like, directly in front in order for it to actually work.
That is like
And of
that
course,
is-
you gotta watch out for the witches.
I have not seen a saunter like that since freaking Dan Fortescue.
Oh yeah, Sir Daniel Fortescue.
He strode a good strode.
Also, if you listen, I think there's also like a vocal song.
Yep. Ah, too late. And be careful, because, like, he will start throwing axes to try and stop you, so...
And I guess, yeah, now I think about it, yeah, I guess the vocal song is a reference to the fact that, like, almost all those episodes had, like, a vocal song when the big final creature chase happened.
That only really happened in a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Oh, really?
Well, it happened in the original show, too.
But
Not very often, though, from what I remember.
I just remember it only happening, like, it would only happen during, like, the final, like, big encounter chase or something, just to, like, lighten up the action and the mood.
I mean, I would be surprised if, like, What's New Scooby-Doo did that a little more often than not. And I know, especially, like, some of the movies, like, from that era else as well. But otherwise, I don't remember that happening too often in the original show.
No, I did. They had, like, a handful of, like, really, like, of-the-time songs there. Like, one in particular with the Creeper episode that me and my brother love quoting is something about a guy singing about being in love with an ostrich.
An ostrich.
I don't get it either.
Sounds like Beatles material to me.
It does.
It was, like, very faux Beatles.
Makes sense, considering, again, the era. But yeah, this guy's...
There we go.
For all that saunter, he definitely didn't strode very well in the end.
Yeah? Now let us go free Velma.
I was about to say, since we talked a little bit over the Mastermind's whole dialogue, was there anything vital that we missed about his whole spiel? Oh!
Whoop. Basically, all he said was that, like, he was the one that kidnapped Professor Alexander Graham, and he's the one that's been causing all of these monsters to be popping up around the manor.
Gotcha.
And as he also mentioned, he was the one that kidnapped the other members of the Mystery Inc. gang.
I don't know. There was a spooky groundskeeper.
A spooky groundskeeper?
Ooh.
Yeah, and ghosts and monsters.
Scooby-Doo, you know
Poor
there's
pup.
no such thing as monsters and ghosts. Remember the first time we met the Black Knight? We thought he was a monster, but really he was just a guy in a mask. Aha! I found him!
They were right there, Velma. You have very poor eyesight.
Well, yeah, that's the whole joke. She cannot see without her glasses.
Oh,
Thanks, Scooby.
I mean, that's definitely a new twist. Not every day do you see her lose her lenses.
It's the
Yeah?
Creeper!
Where is he?
Where?
Well, shoot.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's just
Don't.
sticks. It literally is just stickers just on the lenses. And I don't know how they got
Yeah.
there, but we're gonna hopefully learn out later. Oh,
Wait.
What the heck?
This here is a little invention crate from Alexander Graham.
that's not an invention. You just put 4 galoshes into a crate.
He's a bit of a kooky man.
He does look like he belongs in the classic era for sure.
Yeah.
Well, inside this box, you should either find my automated herring scraper or
Anyway, now we can go on sticky tar, no problem.
Mm-hmm. We could be able to run around and jump on it without being stuck. Oh, best of all.
They're banana flavored.
Yum.
Thanks, Barnacle Boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yep.
hello, Barnacle Boy.
Is that actually him?
Yeah, that's Tim Conway.
Yep, that is the same actor.
All right.
Okay, so
then.
basically, now that we beat the boss, I am gonna take one very quick detour because... Okay, first off, I'm going to save, and I also want to take one small detour so I can show off something over at the Monster Gallery.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry, we'll be done soon.
Do you think we've acquired enough? Oh, nice. We can go, and we can also go straight up slopes.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And also,
Actually,
do you think we acquired enough monster tokens for anything, or?
oh, we've been collecting monster tokens throughout a good chunk, but I do want to go back here because, just like all of the fodder enemies, the bosses also get their own monster tokens.
Oh,
I'd sure hope so.
Nice.
and my.
And yeah,
gosh.
like, see all this right here? This was just the manor.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's all sorts of areas we'll be going to, but hey, I mean, we knocked out a good chunk. There's how many bosses? 4?
4, yes, including the final boss.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
we're doing good. And
Well, hopefully it won't take as long to find the other 2
go
bosses.
werewolf.
And, of course, the final boss.
Shaggy's ancestral home is located in Moonlight Castle in Austria.
That's
Austria.
right. That's right, because that's where they went for the whole thing. They thought there was a werewolf, but it was not Shaggy at all. There's the robot that always looked like Mr. Freeze to me.
There was a fish. I don't think that fish creature was ever in the original Where Are You run.
No, they weren't. They did take a handful of enemies from like some of the later Scooby seasons. Like the Scarecrow is from the Scooby-Doo movies. One of the episodes I remember the most, actually.
And Headless Spectre.
Then
Daphne-
there's the Headless
Let's see.
Spectre.
Daphne returned to the Scooby-Doo series. That was right around the part where Scrappy was around. But what happened to friend
Oh.
Velma?
They died.
Wait, I didn't even think Headless Spectre was that late.
Well, no. Spectre himself was from the original run. All the facts and trivias are just from all throughout the series.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, I'm here to give you a gracious fun fact. Scrappy-Doo was a mistake.
Love that. I actually would love if they did that. And also, how are you able to? Also, do you only just need? Oh, okay, so you don't have to collect the number tokens. You just need to find a token, and bam, you can now view their thing.
Scooby Dumb's hometown?
Oh yeah, from the
Yeah, Scooby-Dum is Scooby-Doo's cousin.
from the late 70s Scooby-Doo
Oh god,
show.
it was actually called Hokey Fanoki. Wow.
Yeah, Scooby-Dum is... You've probably seen him around, Jordan. He kind of looks like a gray Scooby-Doo, but with a red hat.
Okay.
And
And if you listen closely... Yeah, if you listen closely, for all the boss characters, they have their boss theme playing while they're, while you're zooming through their thing. Oh, actually, didn't mean to do that,
Whoops.
because this one in particular does have an interesting factoid. What was the show Scooby-Doo Where Are You originally going to be called before it got its final name?
Holy crap,
I feel
I'm
like
scared.
I should know that. Oh,
Mystery 5 and Who's Scared?
Makes sense.
Ah.
Mystery 5 would have been a pretty.
See,
snazzy
I
title.
want more like tidbits like that. I would love more behind the scenes stuff of like the original series and like the legacy it is now left with us.
Same.
The factoids do kind of go back and forth. They sometimes do like behind the scenes stuff, but it mostly ranges from like little bits of lore. Like for example, like, you know, where characters grew up and where they were during certain parts of the franchise.
Okay.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and stop there for now. Next time we play this game, we're gonna try to see if we can find where Daphne is, because her and Fred are like the members that we're still needing to find, as well as, you know, see if we can find out more of the Mastermind's whole spiel and whatnot. So until next time,
Very good day.
The fact that you just kind of like transform into that like actually took me by surprise.
Jeepers!
This will certainly be a night to remember, especially when it comes to editing this whole damn thing. See you all next time.
Daddy.
It was important. I knew I had to find Fred. He was the only one who knew how to drive a stick shift.
I bet I can drive it. Hang on a second. Come on, let me in. Let me in. Let me in!